The council watched in stunned silence as one human ship fired a weapon unlike anything they had seen before. A combination of Valkyrie energy technology and human innovation. A Valkyrie military installation vanished, leaving surrounding civilian areas completely untouched. "Remarkable precision," murmured Elder Kimsu. Within moments, the Valkyrie High Command requested to join the council session. Their proud leaders, faces tight with suppressed rage, agreed to all human terms without further negotiation. Other species who had participated in covert operations on Earth quickly followed suit, offering trade deals, technology exchanges, and formal apologies. The human delegation accepted with surprising grace, showing none of the vengeance many had feared. As the formal proceedings concluded and the human delegation prepared to depart, Counselor Ji-un approached them privately. "You understand now why we issued the warning about your kind?" she asked. Minna smiled. "Yes. It wasn't to protect us from the galaxy. It was to protect the galaxy from you," Ji-un finished. "Your species adapts faster than any we have encountered. You turn adversity into advantage. You transform enemy weapons into your own improved versions." Sun-Ho looked thoughtful. "We don't seek conflict. We simply refuse to accept defeat." Ji-un nodded. "That is precisely what makes humans dangerous, and potentially valuable allies. The Council will lift the quarantine designation. Earth will be recognized as a sovereign power." As the humans departed, Elder Kimsu turned to advisor, Daeho. "Document everything for future generations. Let this be remembered as the time when humanity joined the galactic community." "And the warning?" asked Daeho. "Replace it with a new one," Kimsu replied. "Humanity's enemies become humanity's teachers. Approach with respect, or not at all." General Hyun-ki watched in disbelief as reports flooded his command center. Humans had launched simultaneous assaults on all 7 processing centers. Most shocking was their equipment. They wielded modified versions of Valkyrie weapons, often improved in ways the aliens hadn't considered. "How is this possible?" Hyun-ki demanded, his scales flaring with rage. "Their technological understanding should be centuries behind ours." Commander Eun-ji studied the battle reports, her expression grim. "They've been studying our technology since day one, General. While we saw them as simple laborers, they were learning our systems, finding weaknesses, making improvements." On the battlefield outside the Seoul Processing Center, Min-ae led a strike team equipped with improvised pressure suits. These crude but effective garments allowed humans to survive briefly in toxic environments where Valkyrie required extensive protection. Her team targeted the facility's environmental systems first, releasing Earth's atmospheric mixture, harmless to humans, but irritating to Valkyrie respiratory systems. "Move to Phase 2, Minna shouted, as Valkyrie troops retreated from the thickening air. Her soldiers deployed devices that mimicked Valkyrie security signatures, granting them access to restricted areas. Inside the command center, Do-hyun worked feverishly at captured control systems. "Their interfaces are designed for efficiency, not security," he explained to his team. "They never expected anyone but Valkyrie to operate them." Across Earth, similar scenes played out. Humans use their smaller size to access maintenance tunnels, their resilience to endure environmental conditions toxic to Valkyrie, and their adaptability to operate alien technology in ways its creators never imagined. In orbit, human engineers had modified captured shuttles with improvised weapons. The Valkyrie Space Forces found themselves outmaneuvered by vessels they had built, now piloted by humans who flew with unpredictable patterns that defied standard combat protocols. "They're not following any recognizable battle formations," reported a Valkyrie fleet commander. "Their attack patterns appear random yet somehow coordinated. The most significant human advantage came from an unexpected source: children. Young humans, with their greater neural plasticity, learned to interface with Valkyrie systems faster than adults. Teenagers became the Resistance's best hackers, bypassing security measures that had been considered unbreakable. By midday, humans had seized control of 3 processing centers. The Valkyrie fell back to their ships, regrouping for a counterattack that never came. Human engineers had already compromised their vessels' launch systems. Send the distress signal to the homeworld, General Hyun-ki ordered, his voice tight with fury. We need reinforcements immediately. Commander Yoonji tried repeatedly but shook her head. All communication channels are being jammed. It's impossible. They've taken control of our orbital relay stations. How? Hyun-ki demanded. Those systems require Valkyrie neural patterns to operate. They've been studying us, General, Yoonji replied quietly. Just as the Council warned, they learned our technology, then improved it beyond our understanding. Across the planet, Valkyrie troops encountered another unexpected human tactic, mercy. Rather than executing captured aliens, humans offered surrender terms. Many Valkyrie, witnessing the unexpected reversal of fortune, chose to lay down their weapons. Sun-ho, returned from the mining colony with thousands of trained human technicians, oversaw the integration of captured Valkyrie technology with human innovations. The resulting hybrid weapons and vehicles combined alien efficiency with human creativity. Their technology stagnated centuries ago, Sun-ho explained to Earth's unified command. They stopped innovating because they didn't need to. We've accomplished in months what would have taken them decades. In Australia's outback, a team of human scientists had created something unprecedented, a device that could detect and disrupt Valkyrie neural interfaces. This innovation effectively blinded their targeting systems and rendered their most advanced weapons useless. By sunset, the Valkyrie occupation force was in full retreat. Their remaining ships, unable to achieve escape velocity due to sabotaged engines, hovered helplessly above Earth's major cities. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, Junwoo's stolen ship approached the Galactic Council's headquarters. Their cargo hold contained irrefutable evidence of Valkyrie atrocities on Earth and proof of humanity's unexpected triumph against a technologically superior force. We bring a message from Earth, Junwoo transmitted to the astonished Council. The Valkyrie ignored your warning. They will not make that mistake again, and neither should anyone else. As reports of humanity's victory spread through galactic communication channels, other species who had ignored the Council's warning about Earth found their covert operations similarly exposed and defeated. The message became clear throughout the galaxy. Underestimate humans at your peril. The Galactic Council convened an emergency session as news spread about humanity's unexpected victory. The Grand Chamber, normally organized and formal, buzzed with anxiety as delegates from 200 species discussed the shocking reports. The Valkyrie invasion force, with its superior technology and military might, had been defeated in less than one Earth year. Advisor Dae-ho stood at the central podium, his scales dulled with stress. Esteemed council members, we gather today to address the unprecedented situation on Earth. As you know, we issued a Class 4 quarantine warning regarding humans. The Valkyrie Imperium chose to ignore this warning. Now we face the consequences. The massive display above showed images from Earth. Valkyrie ships grounded or repurposed, alien technology modified with human improvements, and most concerning of all, a fleet of hybrid vessels combining Earth and alien technology. The humans have not only repelled the Valkyrie invasion, continued Dae-ho, they have adapted and improved upon Valkyrie technology at an alarming rate. What would take most species decades of reverse engineering, they accomplished in months. Elder Kim-soo spoke next, his ancient voice quiet but carrying throughout the chamber. We warned of human adaptability and resilience. Now we must contain this conflict before it spreads. The chamber doors opened, and gasps echoed throughout the room. A human delegation entered, led by Sun-ho and Minna. They walked confidently toward the central podium, seemingly untroubled by the strange atmosphere or the hundreds of alien eyes watching them. We come in peace, Sun-ho began simply. Though we have prepared for war, Minna stepped forward. The Valkyrie attacked our world unprovoked. We defended ourselves using their own technology, which we have improved upon. Our fleet stands ready for further action, but we prefer peaceful relations. Behind them, holographic displays showed Earth's hybrid fleet, Valkyrie ships modified with human innovations that made them faster and more effective than the originals. The most troubling images showed humans adapting technology from other species as well. not just Valkyrie designs. Several civilizations ignored your quarantine warning, Minna explained. The Duraxian Collective attempted resource extraction in our oceans. The Mentari Alliance established hidden observation posts. All have been neutralized. The Valkyrie representative, a minor official sent in General Hyun-Ki's place, rose to object. The humans are primitive savages who defeated your invasion force, interrupted Sun Ho calmly. Who adapted your technology and improved it. Who now control your ships and weapon systems. Choose your next words carefully. Ambassador Tae Wan moved to ease tensions. What are humanity's terms? Recognition of Earth's sovereignty and independence, replied Minna. Non-interference in our affairs. Fair trade agreements for those who wish to establish relations, and… She paused, looking directly at the Valkyrie representative. Reparations from the Valkyrie Imperium for their unprovoked aggression. The Valkyrie official began to protest, but a transmission interrupted the proceedings. On the main display appeared Junwoo, commanding a fleet of 50 hybrid ships now orbiting the Valkyrie homeworld. The Valkyrie leadership refuses communication, Junwoo reported. They are preparing military assets. Should we proceed with the demonstration? Sun Ho nodded. A single target, minimal casualties. Ding his fist on the table. Hours later, several nations launched missile counterattacks. The results were devastating, not to the Valkyrie, but to Earth. The alien ships simply redirected the missiles to uninhabited areas as a demonstration of power. When a coordinated electromagnetic pulse attack was attempted, the Valkyrie responded with precision strikes that disabled military installations worldwide without a single human casualty. Impressive restraint, observed Sumin, watching the human military collapse. Most species would have eliminated the threat entirely. These humans are valuable resources, replied Hyun-Ki. Every death decreases our potential workforce. Begin landing the processing centers. Within days, massive structures descended from the Valkyrie ships. These processing centers, each covering several square kilometers, became the aliens' base of operations on Earth. Humans were required to register for work assignments, a thinly veiled system of forced labor. Commander Yoon-ji supervised the Seoul Processing Center, watching as thousands of humans moved through the scanning systems. Unlike many Valkyrie officers, she approached the assignment with scientific curiosity, rather than military efficiency. These specimens can withstand radiation levels that would kill Valkyrie workers, she noted, reviewing the biological scans. And their physical endurance exceeds our predictions by 43%. Their adaptability to different environments is remarkable. Her assistant, Ju-Wan, added another observation. They also show unusual psychological resilience. Most species exhibit complete mental collapse within 2 days of subjugation. These humans are already forming social structures within our processing system. In the massive holding area, Park Sun-ho kept his head down as the aliens discussed humans as if they were livestock. A former engineering professor at Seoul National University, he carefully observed the Valkyrie technology while pretending to be docile and defeated. The aliens used a standardized design for their equipment, modular components that connected through a specific pattern of interface points. Their security systems relied heavily on biometric readings that naturally were calibrated for Valkyrie biology, not human. Most importantly, they clearly considered humans too primitive to understand their technology. Processing complete, announced the automated system as Sun-ho reached the front of the line. Work assignment, mining colony on Valkyrie 6, specialization, equipment maintenance. Sun-ho nodded submissively, but his mind was already planning. He caught the eyes of several other former scientists and engineers in the processing line, exchanging the briefest of nods. The aliens had made a critical mistake in their assessment of human capabilities. On the observation deck, Su-min approached General Hyun-Ki with concerns. Sir, the Galactic Council specifically warned about human adaptability and resilience. Should we not exercise more caution in our processing procedures? Hyun-Ki dismissed her concerns with a wave. The Council fears what it does not control. Look at these creatures. Barely 2 centuries of industrial development still killing each other over resources and ideologies. They should be grateful for our guidance. As the first transport ships prepared to take humans off-world to labor, colonies neither Hyun-Ki nor any other Valkyrie noticed the small groups forming in the holding areas. They didn't see the subtle exchange of information, the careful examination of Valkyrie technology, or the first crude attempts to replicate alien tools using Earth materials. The Valkyrie saw only what they expected to see: a primitive species, overwhelmed by superior technology, ready to be exploited. They had ignored the Council's warning, and soon they would learn why that had been a grave mistake. 6 months into the occupation, the Valkyrie were growing frustrated. Human resistance was unlike anything in their military history. What had begun as small acts of defiance had grown into a coordinated global network that seemed to anticipate Valkyrie tactics with uncanny accuracy. Commander Yunji stared at the latest report on her screen. Her scales had lost their luster from stress and lack of sleep. "Another transport sabotaged," she reported to General Hyun-Ki's holographic image. "The humans have somehow adapted our technology against us. They're using our own communication systems to coordinate globally." The general's image flickered with interference, another sign of the humans' growing technical prowess. "Impossible. Their technological understanding is centuries behind ours." "Evidence suggests otherwise, sir," Yunji replied. "The humans assigned to mining colonies have developed methods to modify our equipment. What we assumed were simple labor camps have become innovation centers." On Valkyrie 6, the mining colony had transformed under the leadership of Park Sun-ho. The Valkyrie had made a critical error. They had placed hundreds of Earth's best scientists and engineers together with access to alien technology. In hidden workshops beneath the mining tunnels, humans reverse-engineered Valkyrie tools. The modular design of alien technology proved surprisingly adaptable to human innovation. Sun-ho had discovered that human bioelectrical signatures could be modified to partially fool Valkyrie security systems. "The air filters are complete," announced Jin Ae, a former nanotechnology researcher. "They'll protect us from the toxic elements while allowing us to move through sections the Valkyrie consider too dangerous for maintenance." Sun-ho nodded, examining the crude but effective breathing apparatus. "And the communication bypass?" "Working," replied Han-Gil, holding up a modified Valkyrie datapad. "We can send messages between Earth and all 7 mining colonies without detection. The resistance is growing stronger every day." The humans had discovered something remarkable. Valkyrie technology was designed for efficiency but lacked innovation. The aliens relied on standardized systems that had remained largely unchanged for centuries. Human adaptability, the very trait the Galactic Council had warned about, became their greatest weapon. Back on Earth, Resistance leader Minna made another critical discovery in the ruins of Washington, D.C. A former biochemist, she had been analyzing Valkyrie biology from medical waste. "They can't drink our water without filtration," she told her team, holding up a vial. "The mineral composition is mildly toxic to their systems. Even skin contact causes irritation over time." Her second-in-command, Do-hyun, immediately understood the implications. "Their water processing plants." "Exactly," Minna nodded. "Target their water purification systems, and we force them back to their ships." Across the planet, resistance cells began attacking Valkyrie water infrastructure, not with explosives or weapons, but by introducing Earth minerals the aliens couldn't detect or filter properly. Soon, Valkyrie troops were falling ill across multiple occupation zones. In orbit, above Earth, former pilot Junwoo led the most daring operation yet. 20 humans, all with various technical backgrounds, had been assigned to waste disposal on a Valkyrie transport ship. For weeks, they had observed the alien crew, noting schedules, behaviors, and most importantly, the ship's control systems. "The Valkyrie pilots use neural interfaces," Junwoo explained to his team as they hid in a maintenance shaft, "but the emergency systems have manual overrides for system failures." "Can we actually fly this thing?" asked Yumi, her face tense with concern. "Their navigation is based on simple positional mathematics," replied Junwoo. Different symbols. Same principles. I've been studying it for months. The takeover happened during the ship's sleep cycle. The humans triggered an environmental alert that forced the Valkyrie into emergency protocols. In the confusion, Junwoo's team accessed the manual controls and sealed the crew quarters. Within hours, they had basic control of the vessel. Within days, they had left Earth's solar system, following coordinates stolen from the ship's database, the location of the Valkyrie homeworld, and, more importantly, the Galactic Council. General Hyun-ki faced increasing pressure from the Valkyrie High Command. The simple subjugation he had promised was becoming a costly quagmire. The humans are communicating between planets, he admitted to the High Command. They've developed countermeasures to our security systems and weapons. They're not just resisting, they're adapting our own technology against us. High Commander Beijin's image showed clear disapproval. The Galactic Council warned specifically about human adaptability. You assured us they were primitive and easily controlled. We still maintain superiority, Hyun-ki insisted. Their resistance is troublesome, but manageable. At that moment, his aide burst into the communication room. General, we've lost contact with mining colonies on Valkyrie 4 and Valkyrie 7. Reports indicate the humans have taken control of both facilities. Across the galaxy, the Galactic Council received an unexpected transmission from an approaching Valkyrie transport ship. To their shock, the message came not from Valkyrie officials but from humans. We bring evidence of Valkyrie war crimes against Earth, began Junwoo's transmission. And a warning, humanity will not be conquered. Advisor Daeho turned to Elder Kim-soo. The warning was ignored, he said simply. Yes, nodded the Elder. And now the galaxy will learn why we issued it in the first place. The global uprising began at dawn. 6 months of careful planning culminated in coordinated attacks against Valkyrie installations worldwide. What started as scattered resistance, cells had grown into an organized force with a single objective: reclaim Earth. The Galactic Council's warning about humans was ignored. Aliens paid the price. HFY Chronicles. The Grand Chamber of the Galactic Council stretched out like a massive amphitheater, its tiered seating filled with representatives from over 200 species. Soft blue light filtered down from the crystalline dome overhead, casting gentle shadows across the diverse assemblage of beings. Advisor Daeho stepped forward, his iridescent scales reflecting the chamber's light. As the senior xenobiologist of the council, his words carried significant weight. The chamber fell silent as he approached the central platform. Esteemed members of the council, Daeho began, his voice calm but serious. Our exploratory vessels have discovered a new sentient species on a small blue planet in the outer rim of the Orion Spiral. They call themselves humans and their world Earth. The holographic display activated above the central platform, showing images of human cities, their primitive spacecraft, and daily activities. Many council members leaned forward with interest. They appear technologically primitive, continued Daeho, but our preliminary studies indicate they possess several unique and concerning traits. Ambassador Tae-wan of the Arcturian Confederation rose from his seat. The elderly diplomat's forearms moved in the traditional gesture of urgent address. I have personally reviewed the exploration data, Tae-wan announced. These humans are unlike any species we have encountered. They survive in environmental conditions that would kill most sentient beings. Their planet experiences temperature variations that span over 100 degrees. They breathe oxygen, a highly corrosive gas, and drink water containing minerals, toxic to most council species. Murmurs spread through the chamber as delegates conferred with their aides. Tae-wan continued, his voice growing more urgent. More concerning is their psychological makeup. They continue functioning despite severe physical trauma. Their medical records show they can survive the loss of limbs, massive blood loss, and even damage to their primary organs. Their history is dominated by warfare. Yet between conflicts they create art of profound beauty. They are walking contradictions. The holographic display shifted to show human conflicts throughout history, from ancient battles with primitive weapons to more sophisticated modern warfare. Elder Kim-soo, one of the oldest members of the council, spoke next. Have they achieved faster-than-light travel? No, replied Deho. Their most advanced ships barely reach their own natural satellite. But their technological progress is accelerating at an unprecedented rate. What took other species millennia, they accomplish in decades. Counselor Jiun of the ancient Eldari rose slowly from her seat. The Eldari were among the first spacefaring races, and their caution was legendary. I have seen such patterns before, she said, her voice barely above, a whisper yet somehow carrying throughout the chamber. A species that evolves on a death world develops extraordinary resilience. A species that spends its history fighting itself becomes exceptionally dangerous when facing external threats. She paused, looking around the chamber. I propose an immediate quarantine designation. No contact until they develop interstellar capabilities independently. No technological exchange. No cultural contamination. The proposal sparked heated debate. Many younger species argued that humans could be valuable, trade partners with proper guidance. Others suggested controlled contact to study their unique biology. The more militant factions saw potential warriors or laborers. After hours of debate, the council voted. The final tally showed 162 in favor of quarantine, 38 against. The official warning would be distributed to all spacefaring civilizations. Earth was designated a Class 4 restricted world. Approach at extreme risk. As the delegates filed out of the chamber, General Hyun Ki of the Valkyrie Imperium stood in the observation deck, watching the proceedings with contempt. The Valkyrie were a relatively young spacefaring species, ambitious and expansionist. Their empire had grown quickly through conquest and resource extraction. Primitive bipeds with primitive technology, Hyun Ki scoffed to his aide. Su-min, the council grows more fearful and cautious with each passing cycle. Su-min looked troubled. The council's warnings are rarely without cause, General. Their scientific data seems comprehensive. The council fears strength, replied Hyun Ki, his scaled crest rising with excitement. These humans survived on a planet that would kill most species. They fight wars that would decimate our populations. Think of what they could accomplish under proper direction. You're considering an expedition? Su-min asked, alarm evident in her voice. Not just an expedition, Hyun Ki said, already planning in his mind. These humans would make excellent laborers for our mining operations on the toxic worlds of the Ya. Farron system. Worlds our own people cannot safely colonize. The Council's quarantine is a recommendation, not a law, interrupted Hyun Ki. The Valkyrie Imperium makes its own decisions about resource acquisition. These humans have something we need. Adaptability to hostile environments. And we have what they need. Guidance from a superior civilization. Su-min remained silent, but her discomfort was clear. Ready the fleet, ordered Hyun Ki, turning away from the chamber view. We depart for Earth within the month. Let the Council issue their warnings. The Valkyrie Imperium will show the galaxy how to properly manage primitive species. As they left, the observation deck neither noticed Elder Kim-Soo watching them from the shadows, his ancient eyes filled with concern. He activated his personal communicator. They ignored the warning, he said simply. Alert our monitoring stations near Earth. The humans are about to face their first contact, and it will not be friendly. The Valkyrie warships appeared over Earth's major cities on a quiet Tuesday morning. 7 massive vessels, each nearly 2 kilometers long, hovered silently above New York, Beijing, Moscow, London, Tokyo, Cairo, and Sydney. Their hulls gleamed with an iridescent purple sheen that seemed to absorb rather than reflect sunlight. Earth's militaries scrambled fighter jets, but the aircraft circled helplessly around the alien ships, weapons seemingly ineffective against invisible barrier fields. General Hyun Ki watched from the command center of the flagship over New York. His scaled crest flared with satisfaction as he observed the primitive human response. Broadcast our message on all their communication frequencies, he ordered. Across the planet, televisions, radios, phones, and computers suddenly displayed the same image. General Hyun Ki's imposing figure, his translator device converting his speech into all major human languages simultaneously. People of Earth, the broadcast began. I am General Hyun Ki of the Valkyrie Imperium. Your world is now under our protection and authority. We bring advanced technology and the opportunity to join a galactic community. Resistance is unnecessary and would only result in suffering. In the United Nations emergency session, world leaders argued furiously about how to respond. Some advocated immediate surrender to protect civilian lives. Others insisted on fighting despite the technological disadvantage. We cannot surrender our planet to these aliens without a fight, declared one military general Powney.